How hungry are you? How hungry are you? How hungry are you for the prophetic word of God over your life to come to pass?
We must have a mindset change.
Nobody says, what a beautiful foundation, but people say, what a beautiful structure.
This is my season of awe and wonder.
If you want to continue living business as usual, that is fine. But there's coming a separation between those who pay the price and those who will not pay the price.
What did you hear? What are you going to do with what you've learned? And if you have questions, feel free to also prepare yourself to ask any. We'll just take a brief session of questions also. If you have any questions to Dr. Shiko, anything from what she has shared or anything technological, feel free. But have you been challenged? Big time. So what are you going to do? Let's start with you, because you said big time. Joyce. Tuanze na wewe. What's your big takeaway?
Okay, for me, I kind of feel like I was challenged. It's like I wasn't doing anything. I've ever felt like your whole life, it's like you are doing nothing. Yes, you have everything, but what was I doing? You know, that was, I was asking myself while she was talking. And so for me, my big take will be getting out of the comfort zone and get the work done.
Okay. Do you know a specific area you want to do something about? Because I know you're on TikTok. She's got some comedy on TikTok. Huh?
Because like I was invited twice, Women's Day, to go and give a talk. And I was like, how can I go and start talking to women? Am I even prepared? So I let it go. The other one. So for me, I'm going now to focus and do what I'm called to do. Just pray for God for instruction and guidance, and just keep the fear away. The laziness of saying, procrastination, because I kind of feel like procrastination is a killer of dreams and vision. So I'm going to stop procrastinating and start doing something. What I love doing, what I like, what people tell you, Joyce, you can do this, but I'm like, yeah. You laugh and you're like, But yet you know very well, given a chance and opportunity, I can do it better. But because of the fear and not believing in yourself. So yeah, those are the kind of things that I'm going to leave aside and focus. Yeah.
Please do. And she shared her own example. She's a PhD, but sometimes we doubt ourselves. But God has put your spirit in you. And that spirit gives you strength. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So make sure you do it. Usipeleke mbali. Natasha yuko hapo. Okay. She has to also say something.
I think one thing I've been challenged to do is get out of my comfort zone. It's not even only today, like that has just been ringing everywhere. Like it's just today that it's been ingrained in me. And to also accept feedback from people, no matter how harsh it is. Yeah. And also the second thing is to learn. I keep hearing these things, the metaverse, NFTs and the likes, and I'm like, okay, that doesn't concern me. But now I'm realizing that it does, and I can actually make something out of it, and that it will benefit me. Also, there's something very nice that she said, that when in doubt of yourself, and when you feel like, because like she has so many qualifications, I wouldn't expect that she feels like she doubts herself. And yeah, so she said that we should consult the Holy Spirit to help us. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Those photos you've taken, where are they?
I sent them to you guys.
No, I'm not talking about the ones recently. I know you take a lot of photos. Umeziweka wapi?
Exactly.
That's what she's challenging us.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with the platforms available? Yeah? To redeem. Or how do you use those photos to redeem?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
What can you do? Because some of the pictures Natasha takes are fantastic. What are you going to do about them? So the challenge is yours, eh? We'll follow up.
Yeah.
So lunch, uwezi kosa hii. What are you going to do?
For me, I can speak in Swahili.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's Congolese. Yes.
She said about sometimes we have ideas, but to practice. Yeah, you have ideas, but you don't do what you have in your head. So I think it was my problem. I have that problem. I can have ideas, but so I hope I can. Nitakuwa naanza kufanya. Pia she said about kuji expose, to try to experience out, like you want to do something or you want something, but you know there's a person who can do it better than you. Go and ask for the person to learn.
Yes. Even the idea, if you don't know how to develop the idea, share it with somebody else and let them help you develop the idea, isn't it? Sometimes we sit there thinking, I must be the all in all about this idea. Just invite some other people to have a conversation with you. Waongee na wewe, they can even give you some ideas how to even build that idea, how to actualize. Sindio?
Another thing, alisema, you have something, you know how to do it, but unakaa. Then you see someone
amefanya.
Yeah,
it has happened to you.
And unasikia vibaya sana. Yeah.
Hiyo ni mzuri sana. Well done. Anthony Onyango, you know you want to add? Anthony Onyango, I know you are in this corner of Mamio. Me, you, Rev, tuko kwa hii corner ya Mamio hapa. What did you pick?
I'm one of those people who think in a linear way. If I'm an accountant, I'm an accountant. But what I've learned is that I can learn. I can learn something else and do it. So my challenge is stop thinking in a linear way. Yeah, I know we have, like me, I have a few years to retire, to retirement, so you can imagine.
From the job, but not
from the job, yeah.
Expressing so, your goal, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, I've learned a lot. Yeah.
Excellent. Who? Noah was most creative past the age of retirement. Alama ya mshangao hapo. How old was he? 90. So anyone here above the age of 90? Hauna excuse. Ulisikia hiyo? Karotuda, anything? Your one takeaway?
Well, I think I missed out a bit. Okay, I'm thinking on different levels. As a parent, I mean, my daughter is going to grow up in such a new world, different from mine. I feel like she's just reminded me of how to guide her. You know, like these coding things. I mean, you've been talking about them. Actually, I just feel like, you know, that webinar you used to do for us, I think in 2020, on career, on rebranding ourselves. I feel like she said most of the things you were teaching us that time. So first of all, just how do I expose my daughter, and even the younger people around me, my nephews and nieces and all that, really insisting that they go for this data, data science. Hizo vitu hizo. Mi hata sinanga TikTok. I find it so, all the music puts me off. I'm like, what are these people doing? So, I mean, she's talked about
Joyce atakufundisha hiyo TikTok. Please look for her.
I've never even downloaded it. I wonder, you know. But anyway, that was good. But also, yeah, we keep on learning. We were talking about that the other day in our careers. How do we, you know, where will technology come in? And then again, it's not just where I am. What else can I do different? You know, I've been thinking about things like virtual assistants that is really, is still around the area of what I do, but then I'm like, there's definitely a lot of room to learn on the internet. Yeah. She also talked about renewing, not conforming to the patterns of the world. So we can be able to bring content online, I have a big challenge with creating content. I tried and then I got stuck.
Hire somebody. Apparently, there are people who do that.
Yes,
You
that's
can
what
hire.
I did last year. I hired someone, they did something for us, and it was a very good experience because I had to work with them. Yeah. So the consistency of that. So just a lot of reminders, a lot of awareness today. But I think my biggest one is for my daughter. I think that's, yeah. I'm actually asking myself, what have we created for them now? The holiday is so long. Is there anything they are coming home to that is beneficial and that is in the world that they are in?
Yeah.
So I think we'll continue to learn.
Sure. Thank you. I want
Thank you
Marisa
so
to
much.
say something. Marisa. Solange, don't worry, I won't ask you to. Marisa will represent you, the teens.
Okay, so for me, I learned that I should take risks because, I don't know, in high school...
So you still live with your mother and father? So you can take risks?
Yeah. But you know, in high school, there's a lot of judgment. Like, you do the smallest thing, people question what you're doing, why you're doing it. So, yeah, not to fear what other people are saying or thinking, because it's your future. It's your future that will be affected. So, yeah, take risks.
So you'll do some of that, eh?
Yeah.
And you'll use your holiday to learn something, I hope?
Yeah, I will.
What do you think you'll learn?
What
do you think you want to learn this holiday?
Probably
you have 7
data.
weeks.
Yeah. Data. How to, like what Ashira was doing. I'll probably ask her to teach me.
Coding, yeah.
Yeah.
Your sister can teach you coding.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good. Wow. I think we've learnt a lot. I have also been provoked myself. I mean, there are things I've had ideas to do, but you know, so sometimes you need that push, by somebody. My chief pusher is over there, the way he's looking at me. I'm sure when I reach home, he'll ask me, so what will you do now? Expect that question. I expect it. Yeah. I have a technology in me. I have some things I've been brooding over, but I need to bring them to life, and I need to push myself to do that. Particularly technology related, that I think can be beneficial to the world. Redeem? We have to redeem, isn't it? I have to redeem my HR world, careers world. I think there's something I can do in that area. So awesome, great. Me, my curiosity is that this journey up to PhD, how was it like for you? Me, when I think of computer science, paka PhD level, it's like, what?
I mean, when you ask it that way, I mean, it was not easy, but it was a dedication to learning. Yeah. So for me, so let me start by saying, when I was 8 years old, I saw somebody graduate with a PhD. You guys don't know President Moi. So we'll just
That's
skip.
grandfather. Grandfather.
So when President Moi used to be the president, he used to be the chancellor of every university, with everything for everyone. And he would graduate universities. And I remember seeing a woman being capped, like her kneeling down and getting, when you get your PhD, your name is read, and then there's given a citation. A citation is what they read, who you are, what your research was on, your contribution to the world, because a PhD is a contribution to the world. New knowledge, they call it new knowledge to the world. And I saw this woman graduating in a program used to be called Dunia Wiki Hii. Like, you guys, like, that is ancient. TV used to open at 4 o'clock. Yeah, so it used to be amongst the first programs. And I saw this woman being capped, and I confessed it to my mom and said, Mom, even me siku moja ndafanyiwa nini? Ndavaishwa kofia na president. And it was like that. And I said it, and it stuck in my head. And that picture is still very alive in my head. And I remember going through like class 8, going through Form 4. I didn't do well in Form 4. I didn't even get a grade to go into university. I had to go through pre-university for me to get into university. But I still confessed. And I remember I'm meeting Dr. Kathy. She was teaching me maths in in first year or pre-university, one of them, and we had us having conversation. I told her the way I love maths and I love to get a PhD because she was a doctor. She was the first doctor woman I ever met. And I telling her, like, I would love one day to get a PhD, and her telling me, you just need to finish this. Once you graduate from undergraduate, you'll get money. And you know, I struggled a lot with school fees my whole entire life until that point. So even you never have to struggle about school fees. People will pay for you. And it is her prophesying into my life that gave me the psych to go on. So I read a lot. I was like top of my class in university. And yeah, so when the opportunity came for me to do my master's, and I talked to my boss, she told me, go and get your master's and your PhD. Got open doors, one door after the other. Like, I got a ticket to go, I got a scholarship when I landed. Before I finished my master's, they opened a fellowship, and I was the first fellow in that fellowship in Africa to get that. I got 3 different, by Google, by Nokia, and by SAP. Those are all technology companies. You need to go and Google them to finish, to do my PhD. And yeah, that's how I got there. But it is about, that's the one thing that you need to have. Like I said, design is already in you. You need to allow God to show you what is that in. For me, the PhD was in the Spirit of God inside of me. Because I said it at 8 years old. And it came to pass. The day I was graduating, I was crying because I was saying, the woman I saw that day was me. God allowed me to see myself many years, 20 years later.
Wow.
Yes.
That is profound. So to the young people here, I'm looking at this row here. You can make it. Yeah? You will make it. The Spirit of God lives in you. So whatever you envision for yourself, it's possible to come to pass. Natasha, do you have the question now?
Okay. Someone was telling me that when hiring someone with a Google certificate would be hired before someone with a Harvard degree. So what is more valuable than conventional schooling, going to university, graduating, or just taking courses online and learning things online? Yeah.
I'll speak from an employer point of view. So we've hired people with amazing records. They've gotten an A at uni. I mean, not at uni, at Form 4 they got A's, and then they graduated with like upper class, first class honors, and of course go and get those ones. But when it comes to actually doing something, they can't. Yeah? Then you pick somebody who is self-trained. We call them self-trained. Self-trained, who can nail it, like totally nail it. I always give this an example. There's this platform that we are building. It is a very highly skilled one. We looked for this person, we couldn't find them. Then I went to a platform called Upwork. How many of you know about Upwork? See? That one and that one, 2 people. You guys need to go and learn about Upwork. So I went to Upwork to try and find somebody. So when I went to Upwork, I found that there's a Kenyan who is highly rated. He's top 5% of these programming languages in the world. So I reached out to him and I said, can we have a conversation? What's the point of me using Upwork? And I'm looking for somebody full-time to hire. And so I gave him my number. He called me. He could hardly speak English. So I said, where do you live? So the good thing is I know Nakuru. I'm from Nakuru. He told me, I live in White House, Nakuru. White House, Nakuru is in the village. He's top 5% developer in the world. I hired him and gave him a salary more than double what I gave somebody who came in with all these degrees. Because he was solving for me a problem. It was a pain point for me. He did that work within 3 weeks. And so I said, can you do this other thing? He said, I might not be able to do it. Here's a lesson for all of you. But give me 2 weeks, I learn. I'll be able to do it. Somebody who had gotten an E at high school and never bothered going to college. He went to a cyber cafe, started doing things with his cousin. Then his cousin taught him how to do a programming language. Learned that programming language. Said, this programming language doesn't have demand. Let me go and learn these other programming languages that has demand online. He learned it. He has built 300 websites for top companies in the world. So you can see. So for me, that it's not necessarily the certifications that you get, it's the portfolio. And that's why I was asking her, do you have a portfolio? Because I want to see work done. Not necessarily a certificate. I want to see work done. Work done, if I get a Harvard person and I see somebody with a great portfolio, I'll take a portfolio. Because a portfolio shows me that you've trained yourself, number one, but you can actually do the work. You don't have to do it perfectly. And that's what most young people want to nini. You don't have to do it perfectly. Just do it. Do it, because the more you do, the more you learn. And the more you polish your craft. We call it you polishing your craft. The more you polish your craft. And the more you polish your craft, the more you become good at what you're doing. The more you're stretching yourself. You go and get different challenges. And many of these places, you get challenges that you can pursue. The more like that, yeah. That is how I choose. I choose from work done. Like if I can see I kept asking you, do you have a portfolio? Is there something somewhere online I can see? Yeah. Because degrees nowadays, people are cheating. Half of Kenyans are doing, with those Upwork people, are writing dissertations for other people. So I don't know if you learned. But if you can show me you did something, I know that you can be able to do it. So put your pictures online.
You must create a portfolio. Remember what I said? People are doing portfolio careers. Did you hear me mention that? Yeah. That's what she's talking about. Create portfolio to prove that you can do that stuff you say you can do. You'll be hired instantly.
Yeah.
It's true.
There's no even interview. We'll give you a challenge. Once you do the challenge, you're hired. Yeah?
Because nowadays, interviews are very different. Nowadays, you give somebody a technical piece of work to do, especially in technical fields. That's what we do. We don't ask you questions, because how many people can bluff through things? Like nowadays, if I'm hiring an accounts person or an analyst, here is some set of data, convert it for me into a report.
Yeah, because yesterday I was doing an interview, and I was doing an interview with WHO, and it was just technical.
Yeah.
Like they give you a mathematics, they give you like programming, so they ask you, because like when you write on your CV, because for me I've done SPSS, a bit of data analysis. So now they're saying what you have written, we want to see if that's true.
Yeah,
so they
exactly.
give you an exam to do. Then when you like ukisha Peter, they will prove that what you have written is true. So it's very true, by the way. We really need to focus on that. And my question was, how do you deal with critics? Because like for me, I did programming when I was in second year. And to be honest, I didn't like it. I was like, it's a lot of mathematics, a lot of thinking, a lot of coding. So once when I was done, I was like, I'll never do statistics again. But now when I was done with campus, when I looked for the job, where I got the job, it was like you have to be good in data, you have to be good in reports, and you have to go back to statistics as well. So the project manager who was there was told by my boss, you need to teach these people, because for him he's good in data, Python, and he was like, don't even fool yourself. Data is not for girls. It's for men. And so you see, yeah, and he was like, akuna jam jisumbue, as in, ladies are not good in mathematics. You should leave this to the guy. And so for me, I felt very frustrated, because I had applied in Musinga, and I got it. Like you do the application online, you do online exam. Once you pass, because at least I had done the programming, so I knew a bit of coding and all that. So once you pass, that's when they take you. So the guy was like, don't even bother yourself. Mathematics is not for the ladies. So I never ended up going to the school until today.
Moringa.
Yeah,
you go to Moringa. Go back.
Yeah.
This is where you use the word of one Jesus Christ. Get behind me, Satan. So... No. Nobody, let me tell you, nobody should ever tell you what you can and can't. Remember the Holy again, remember that verse, I've given you a toolkit. Yeah? The Holy Spirit has already put it inside of you. And the fact that you accepted means that you already had it in you. Never doubt the Holy Spirit in you. Because that opportunity went to somebody else. And that is painful for me. Because I want more girls in computing and technology. Yeah? Never doubt yourself. Never, remember, I've already given you. Anybody, an outside voice, an inside voice tells you that you can't do this, tell them the Holy Spirit, it's already deposited in you. It cannot be undone. Time, remember I told you the 3 characteristics of time? It's events, sequences, and irreversible. That one stole something from you. Just stole your time. So go and redeem it for yourself. Because you already have inside of you. Go and learn. It's not too late. You're still young.
You don't even look convinced. The idea.
Yeah. And maths is for girls. Yes. Extremely
Absolutely.
good in maths. That one is somebody trying to steal your time.
We can do all things through Christ too.
Strengthens us.
Even maths, physics. Our.
Maths and physics. Once are these ones I want that maths, physics, and chemistry. But the chemistry used to be my favorite project. I loved. But maths and chemistry are almost the same. Yeah. Look at chemistry as maths, because it's about calculating things in portions. Yeah, it's just a change of perception, by the way, because it's just calculating portions of things together. I used to think I wanted to be a medical doctor, hence why chemistry was my favorite. Any other? Let's talk. I feel bad for you. I'll get you into Moringa if you want.
You're still young, Joyce. And if it's still a passion in you, because you were talking very passionately, revisit. Joyce.
No, if you got an admission. No, they can still redeem your time. You didn't hear everything the past hour.
This one we have to push to do it. And feet too. Until she does it. Lillian, you have a question? You have to start? Okay.
Concerning the topic we're talking about, so I have a couple of friends whom I think it relates. When we were in campus, I had a friend and she was doing mechanical engineering. And then we used to live, she had rented a house. And so the brother after Form 4 came to live with her. So the way we joined campus, the brother was not interested in joining university. The brother just went to Moringa school. That was just for 6 months. You go to Moringa school for 6 months. But I guess Moringa is so strict. They want you to get out with the best. Yeah, because they even tell you have to be on full-time basis. If you don't have time, we're not taking you. So he went to Moringa school, and we met just, I think, last month with that friend. That's like, we're in campus like 5 years ago. And so when we finished, she studied for 5 years, mechanical engineering. The brother went to Moringa school, I think did data science for 6 months. And right now, the brother has 2 jobs. One, the client is in UK, and he's being paid 3,500 euros. 3,500 euros, if you calculate, mkona calculator? Yes, 450,000. The guy is younger than us. He's maybe 23, 24 at most. That's one job. He also has a job here in Kenya. He goes 3 times a week, and that's 100,000. And that guy is less than 25 years old. And he just went, and so we were talking, we actually met over there at CJ's, and we were talking, and we were like, this guy, we were in campus for 4-5 years, university. You know, when us we were finishing school, you have to go to university. You can't even tell your parent anything else. That's what you were taught. But he came later. He just went to Moringa school. He was just freestyling.
And then here he is. He's actually, the sister is running for politics for MP, and so he's like actually trying to plead with the guy to finance him, you know? The younger brother. And so that's how it is. Then I have another example of my friends. One did, I think it was did computer science, after school joined Andela. You guys remember Andela, but it closed in Kenya, I think. But so after Andela went out of Kenya, and so jobs ikaisha. And so I think because I think in Andela there's a lot of learning and all that, and a lot of coaching. And so I think they also got connections, because Andela had a lot of connections with outside people. And so after right now, she's working on 2 jobs. There's no local hire here. It's just international. People you've never met, people you've not seen. But she has 2 jobs. She has a weekday job. That's from Monday to Friday. She also has a job on Saturday and Sunday. That's from 4 to 4, 4 to 4. And you don't even have to be there full time. But she has 2 different jobs. And so my friend went to visit her, because they were together in campus. She went to visit her, I think, last week. And that girl is balling. And you know, she got the second job just last year, hapo mwisho. But her lifestyle has changed everything, because she was telling how much they're being paid a lot. And it's 2 different jobs, it's no local hire, just working remotely. She's not met the bosses, but she's being paid well. I think these online jobs, I think people have really shifted their mindsets, especially after COVID. People are really getting hired remotely. And I think also LinkedIn is underrated. What I've come to learn is LinkedIn is underrated. If you have your proper profile on LinkedIn, one of my cousin has been applying on LinkedIn every day. She customized her profile well. She set an alert for jobs that suit her. And so she applies like 2 jobs every day. And so far, I think for the last 2 weeks, she's gotten 2 interviews. And one was even from Nigeria. And the interview is online, you know. And that's how it is. So I guess it's really working. Yeah.
So it's interesting you say that. We lost somebody from our team. In terms of they got another job remotely, they were being paid €8,000. Yes, they are 26. So you start learning though. They're paying 8,000, and they are data scientists. €8,000. In fact, they asked her, how much do you want to earn this? She went like, her most in her head was like, I want to earn like 300K. Like she was saying, even if they scattered that by a half, I'll be okay. And they said, we can't pay you that. That is under paying you because of this, what you're doing to us. We want to keep you. They offered her €8,000 per month. Yes, that's 1 million and something for those of you. So a euro is 130 bob. And you're here sitting on your talent or...
Joyce. Yes. Those are the shifts I was talking about. I talked about ways of working, remote working. That's a major disruptor. I don't know if Shiko, you can talk about the number of software developers that have been poached from local technology companies in the last few months. Massive.
So Microsoft is setting up has already set up the engineering center here. They've hired 500. Google is coming in the next 2 months, will be here. In fact, they're starting to come tomorrow. Yeah? Setting up an engineering center. They're looking at 1,000 people.
Will you be one of them?
And you have to decide where you're going to play. And it's that learning and asking yourself, when you start coding at 12, 13, by the time you're 19, you're already balling using Howard. And the one thing that I'm trying to train the young people is your motivation also should not just be about money. Yeah. Look at the higher thing. Yes, employment is amazing. Getting, what is it called? Getting the money is amazing. So like my colleague who got the 8,000 euro, we blessed her, go and prosper. But he said you need to start thinking beyond the money, because you get to a point where money is enough. so much Diani you can go. And I was told the other day, it's Lamu. These ones are the ones who understand.
We go Lamu, these
Lamu,
ones.
Lamu, yes, Lamu Lives Matters. That is what I was told the other day. Hashtag Lamu Lives Matters. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to, but you have to be very conscious that you have to have a vision beyond money. That's what I wanted to say.
I wanted to ask, what's a good start point? I know you talked about coding, you've talked about data science. What's a good
Code.
start point? Code.
Learn how to do code. Baseline is code. Start with Python. It's the easiest one. It's like English. Then grow.
Not the snake.
Not the snake. Yeah, Python is a language. Start with a very basic one. You get to learn how to do things like they call syntax. Just how to organize your thoughts as a programming language. Just very basic. That one even 7-year-olds are learning. Yeah. Then grow into those ones who are good at maths, go into data science. We have I keep saying this, 750,000 open roles. Deficit, that's what we were calling it. Deficit
yeah.
Of data scientists in the world.
And more in Africa.
So I can tell you, like my company, we keep getting all these corporates here asking, can you give us somebody? Like now there's somebody was calling, please send somebody, even if it's for 2 days a week. Just look at our data, because we don't know what we are doing. Because the people working in the blind. But as the world is moving, you're realizing my competitor is moving faster because they're using data. How do we do? It is such a, like even if you sacrifice 6 months to go back to school, it will return in an investment within the next 6 months. That's how powerful it is. And because you've done SPSS and statistics, it's easy for you. Yeah. Chemistry is the other big, if you look at the world trends, chemistry is the other big one that is coming, because we are not going to stop being sick. So Big Pharma is setting up in Africa, because you are 1.2, now I'm going to go all tech and all business on you. We are 1.2 billion market. You know why? Because Africa is 1.2 billion people. Yeah? And by 2040, Africa will have the most populous workforce in the world. Will be the workforce for the world. Why? Did you see Italy? Italy has been halved in population because COVID killed all the old people, but they didn't have any young people. The States, the birth rates have come down. Everywhere else, the birth rates has come down. In the next 20 years, there are not enough young people to work. Africa is still giving birth, by the way. They're just giving birth. Yeah, so we'll have the young people to actually work. Yeah, so where will the money be? Thank you.
Africa.
Not in your head, in Jesus' name.
In her hand.
Okay. So for me, it's a challenge for you to think. I've given you trends. So this is the trends for your time. By the time you're going to but in 20 years, in 2040 is how many years? 18. In 18 years, Africa will be the world's workforce. So you have to be ready to be working for the world.
And working anywhere.
Anywhere. So like now I'm telling you somebody's working in Europe. So that one is working in Portugal. They're paying 8,000 euro. And when Ukraine went down, guess where all that work came? To Kenya.
How?
Because remote work.
Oh, remote work.
So, Ukraine has very good developers.
Yes.
So when Ukraine went up, we have a client who had a development team. We are doing part of their work, and the other one was happening in Ukraine. And when that happened, they asked us, can we help? Can you find somebody who can do for us this? Like IoT engineering. We can't find IoT engineers in Kenya. Why? People are not learning.
Amarisa, I can see something has sunk.
I think
realities.
When you said 1.2 million, people are saying, that is good money for me at 19. So the gig economy is the future of employment. I think I mentioned that. It's the future of employment. So I'll give an example. 10 years ago, I built Umeli. Umeli grew to 1 million users in South Africa. It's fully gig. Yeah, it's connecting informal workers to work online. What that did, it catalyzed that ability of people being able to say, I can take a gig in the morning here and another gig there in the afternoon to supplement my income. But then people realizing it's not about supplementing my income. This is my full income. I don't need to go and be abused by somebody. I can make this my way of living. So we just finished, and I'll send you that study. We just finished a study with women and men around the gig economy. And people are quitting formal, leave alone they're saying they're 20%. People are leaving formal economy to go to the gig economy. Yeah. And the thing is that they're saying, first of all, you YOLO people, you only live once.
YOLO.
Yeah. So it's you only live once. Let's maximize on this thing. Is a big factor to the young people right now. So they don't want to be closed in a thing. 2, it's about the flexibility of that work that they are having. Yeah. And 3 is, I feel like for the longest time I was in that space for a long time, I felt like there was not enough jobs. But seeing what is happening in the last 3 years, especially with COVID, those 2 years of COVID, the job landscape is going to change dramatically. So instead of now having one person earning 8,000 euro, we have a lot of fractional work, yeah, where that 8,000 euro maybe will be divided into 4. Yeah, and it's happening now very informally. So if you're going to Upwork, those are guys who go to Upwork, one person in Upwork, which is a gig economy, gets the job, yeah, because that's their account. And then they take that work and split it out amongst a few people, and they all earn, yeah? And that is going to be formalized by these platforms at some point, because they realize we are being gamed, yeah? So I'd rather have 5 people doing this work rather than saying it's one person who is fractionalizing it, yeah? So you're spreading the pie a little bit further, yeah? And the biggest one is the manual one. You talked about the formal economy being 80%. The sad part is most of it is manual, yeah? And it is the Juakali people, the farmers, especially for women, the SME and subsistence farmers, all these people is going to happen. And mechanization is not going to happen before 2050. That's a lie. Let's not for ourselves. For those people, and some of the work that we've been doing is how do you educate governments to expose them to things, because everybody has a mobile phone. Everybody, even in the village, has a mobile phone. And as the population, these guys become much older, the more the mobile phone will be as an essential thing. How do you start exposing them to this fractional work that is primarily digital? Then for that time, yes, you're doing a manual piece of work, but you can supplement it with an income that is earned online. And it's, for us, what we are pushing for right now is dignified work, not just work, but the dignity of work. We are working with the Ubers and Littles of this world to see how do we make sure that this work is dignified. Somebody is not working for 24 hours so that they can put food on the table. How do you do that? So that is the future, and there's a lot of conversation that is happening around that it's, the fractional work is going to be a thing now, yeah? So this one works for me for 5 hours. Another one works for me for 5 hours, and the work is done in a fractional manner. So I think that is where we are heading to, and that will reduce unemployment, especially amongst young people. If you're over the age of 30, it might not apply. Under that, the Gen Zs, it's going to apply much, and they're comfortable with fractional work. Yeah, if I can make my 200K and go to Diani or Lamu, or Chaldan, it's called what?
Maldives.
No, Chaldean desert.
Chalbi.
See, I knew somebody
Chalbi
knew that.
desert.
Yeah.
That's why you guys go nowadays.
It's okay, Christine. It's fine.
I've been there, but yeah.
Yeah.
But not in those circumstances. Anyway.
People go there for holiday these days.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah.
I'm shocked.
It's fine. Even me, I'm still taking some of these things. I learn something new every day.
Wow.
So if somebody is able to do, I was also this hashtag work from anywhere, not even work from home. So it's work from anywhere.
It's a thing now,
if they can do work from anywhere.
Even from Chalbi.
Yeah, they can do that.
They do it, by the way. There are those who are permanently on hikes. Have you seen those people?
Yeah.
And they are working.
They are working. So those, and that is the living. Because, I was, at first I had this assumption it's just a Nairobi or an urban thing. But when that guy told me I live in White House in Nakuru, it hit me. And so we went and actually did research outside Nairobi. There are all these pockets of gig workers, and you tell them to move to Nairobi, they said, why? Why am I moving there to pay rent?
And be caught up in traffic for 2 hours.
And they say, but there's no internet. No, I have internet. I have my stick. Yeah. And and that is going to be our future. And without what is called dismissing the manual work, even the manual work, the connection will have to happen online. Yeah. And one of the things that I know the space you are in is how do you build trust in that ecosystem? How do you start building? I can trust that you're going to deliver for me what you're going to deliver for me. Yeah. And our community, our communal relationship is what is going to work. Yeah.
I actually agree with Shiko. I mean, all work will be Uberized.
Yes.
Let's just accept. There'll be platforms to connect demand and supply. That's how it's going to work. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Because today, if you need a taxi, you only just need the app and you hail the thing, it comes. It's the same way most jobs have been broken to tasks.
Yeah.
And they can be Uberized anyway.
Anywhere.
That's the future.
And it's you who are training us. My friend was saying, so this is the reverse part of it. It's the Gen Zs who've trained us how to do that. So my friend was, so somebody quit in our office and told me, 14 days, work, okay, sawa, I'm taking leave. So I thought it was me, and I was having like a serious moment of doubt to my leadership skills. And then my friend called me in panic. I have a deliverable in 2 weeks. My designer has decided to quit on text. I quit. I have another job. My 7 days of notice, I'm taking leave because of my mental health. So she was asking me, do you have a designer who can help me because I have to deliver on this thing? So I said, oh yeah. But I said, when she said that, it like felt like, oh my God, this is going to be our future forever. Like this, because you find a job, they tell you you're starting tomorrow, you want a week break, you negotiate, you had already negotiated for a 7 days notice. You take that one for a mental break. That is going to be your life. And us guys, as employers, we are adapting very quickly. Me, I have a list of people. If you quit tomorrow, I have somebody who's going to quickly come and do your job because I have to deliver for my work. Yeah? So as you're changing, the employment
is also changing.
Yeah.
And many big organizations, because I speak for working in a big organization, we're all having to adapt to the new ways. So in future, don't expect to work in a job like the way I've worked in a bank for many years. It's not going to happen. Most of it will be freelance gigs. We need you, we call you in, you do the task, and go out as a need basis. So I foresee many platforms enabling that and specialized. HR1, a supply chain, accountant, any. You'll be able to go on demand online. I need this skill, you get it on demand. The guys come, do the work for you, they go. Because this generation wants their flexibility. In fact, it's their first need.
Yes, that's their first need.
As for the rest of us, I think our needs were very different. But because the way you guys, I'm not saying it in a derogatory way, by the way. It's just the framework with which you grew up. Yeah, you've developed certain values about work and life in general. Yeah, and this generation wants to have to balance their fun and freedom with work.
Yeah, work from anywhere.
So employers also have to adapt to that. Yeah, because if you need labor. The organizations need labor. So they've got to also adapt to that way of working. So if you want to work only in the mornings, utapata job, mornings only. Kutaka afternoon, night only. I see those type of options. Almost a 24-hour coming. So I think there'll be lots of work, but it will not be in the public domain. And one thing I want to say is that if you rely on what the media tells you, you're lost. The media does not report on these things. They don't tell you. Yeah, those things are not visible to the eye. Yeah. Like all those things she has said, have you seen them being written anywhere in the media? No. But yet, lots and lots of Kenyans, especially in software development, are prospering. But what you read in the media, there's a job, what do they tell you?
Job description.
Yeah.
And job, like somebody asked me for a job description. When is the last time I wrote
I ever saw one.
Because nowadays I say I want somebody with this
Skill.
skill.
So distinguish yourself with a skill, a craft, like she said. What is your craft? You should be very clear what it is. You should be very clear to describe that craft to anybody when you're stopped. If you're stopped in this street here by a stranger and you're asked what's your skill, don't be like, you know how you meet people. I
have a become.
I have a become. Yeah. You cannot say that. Don't describe yourself by the papers or the job title. Get it? Describe the skill set you carry. Yeah? Guys, this discussion is so sweet, eh? But I think we've had a very good time. Don't you think?
Do you have another question? Okay.
You have enough food for thought, yeah? Till the next forum.
And I'm going to look for Hekima on TikTok.
Yes. In the next, how long? These two, they've committed. At least you'll find us on Instagram. Thank you very much. Facebook, we're there. Yeah, you guys. Wow, please give Shiko another round of applause.